And for more on the trial against Derek Chauvin, let's bring in trial lawyer Robert DiCello and Reverend Angela Kabeb for more on this. Thank you both for joining us this morning. Robert, I'd like to start with you. After 3 weeks of presenting evidence and testimony, both sides have now rested. How do you think this trial has gone so far, and what do you expect from closing arguments on Monday?
Morning, Diane. The trial so far has been pretty much as advertised from the moment of opening statement. We heard a story told by the prosecution of a man, George Floyd, who was laid on the ground and essentially asphyxiated by the weight of the officers that were on his body. We remember the lead prosecutor in this case, Mr. Blackwell, telling us we can trust our eyes. That was the first kind of theme that they developed. And throughout that entire case, they did that. They showed the doctors, the medical folks who would support the asphyxiation theory. And then on the defense side, we got a disjointed kind of pick what you want to pick option story where, you know, the juror could potentially, through Mr. Nelson, choose whether it was carbon monoxide that contributed, whether it was proper training in the end that makes it not a crime they could choose, or they could choose other options presented through their witnesses. And frankly, that disjointed theory or that disjointed story is going to be harder for the jury to pick up on. But we'll see what happens in closing arguments. I mean, that's the time for the lawyers to pull their story together one last time, and we'll see if the defense can do that for Mr. Chauvin, although I have a feeling that this will be the prosecution's day.
Reverend, what impact do cases like these have on faith in the system, especially in Black and brown communities?
It has a dramatic impact. When we were having one of the prayer vigils and at the different press conferences, one of the relatives of Emmett Till showed up. These cases are not happening in a vacuum. It's when these tragedies unfold, it touches other people's lives, and it brings back to remembrance other tragedies, and it's painful. It's tragic. It's re-traumatizing.
And Robert,
Emmett Till's relative.
I'm sorry, Reverend. Go ahead.
Emmett Till's relative flew back to be present when Dante Wright's family. That's huge.
It gives you goosebumps to think about it, honestly.
Huge.
Now, Robert, the jury's been instructed not to watch the news, but you have to assume they're aware of the larger implications that this verdict could have. Now, they have 3 charges against Derek Chauvin to consider. So what do you think the big challenges are going into deliberations?
Well, the first challenge is to keep the jurors safe. We've got a community that has been injured, as the Reverend just mentioned. We've been traumatized by what's happened. And those 12 faces faceless individuals need to be safe. That's the first thing. And they're going to have to undergo some stress. They're going to be in a room together at times for hours at a time, deciding the fate of Derek Chauvin, and for that matter, starting a new chapter in what will be a civil rights evolution, if not a revolution, in terms of how these cases are litigated. As a civil rights trial lawyer, I can tell you that the trial lawyer bar is watching this case to see if there is a conviction. This is a revolutionary moment. So what we're going to expect, the challenges that the jury face includes those pressures, maybe the knowledge that their case is that important. We'll see what the closing arguments tell them about that. I suspect they will be impressed with the importance of this matter and the pressing moment of the day. And finally, I think that the important thing that's left to decide or to see is how they handle each other. Are they going to get along? Are they going to work together? Is there a holdout who's already made their mind up? All these challenges will confront them as they go forward.
And Reverend, there are several possibilities of how this verdict plays out. Chauvin could be convicted on some charges, all charges, none of them. So what kind of an impact do you expect the verdict to have on the community of Minneapolis and the nation?
Well, explosive, that's for sure. If there's a hung jury, oh my goodness. Last night I was just dreaming, and I said, what if? I mean, now is a time for heroes. What if Chauvin and Kimberly Potter, what if something inside of them said, realize the power that they hold right now? They have the power to affect change nationwide, worldwide, and start make a true step toward healing between the Black community and police officers. And what if they just says, you know what, I made a huge mistake. I did not respect the sanctity of life. I did not serve and protect. This trial can stop right now. I was wrong. I know it sounds crazy. So did avocado toast when it first happened, right? But now it's a thing. What if they just stood up and be heroes and took serve and protect seriously?
All right, Robert DiCello and Reverend Angela Kabeb, we appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we will have continuing coverage of closing arguments in the trial of Derek Chauvin on Monday right here on ABC News Live.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.